We have all been at the point of our life that we have set new goals and exciting ambitions for ourselves, to only see the action towards achieving those goals last for a few days or weeks. Whether those goals were taking a walk each day or reading 20 minutes per day, the problem with most of us, including myself, is that we struggle with consistency. Unfortunately, we don't get taught at school how to be consistent, and it is something that we need to figure out for ourselves in order to succeed and progress with anything new that we start in our life. Welcome everyone. If this is your first time on my channel, my name is Ali and I am a student engineer working and studying here in Australia. This channel is all about sharing my experiences as I go through the journey of self-improvement and being the best version of myself. So let's talk about consistency and how we can achieve everything in our life that we want by being consistent. Over time, I have realized being consistent and consistency is a matter of behavior management. But the good thing with that is that we are in charge of our behaviors and we can literally stop anything that don't work in our favor by putting the right system and things in place. I've done heaps of research around this topic and I want to share with you guys how we can put the right system and things in place so we can be consistently consistent. First and foremost, let's talk about motivation. We have all been at the points of our life that we've been super motivated to start something new. Let's take going to the gym, for example. We are motivated to get in shape, so we go and sign up and we go for the first week or two to only see our motivation decline and we stop going. Have you ever wondered why? This is because motivation is a myth. Let me explain this to you. Motivation doesn't actually drive action. It is action that brings motivation. Let me explain this to you with an example. A little while back, about 2 years ago, I discovered dancing, and seeing other people dance so beautifully got me motivated to learn. As a result, I signed up with the dance classes, and it didn't take me long to realize I sucked at it. I never had any dancing lessons in my life, so by going into the dancing classes, I realized I really am not good at dancing. As a result of that realization, my motivation declined rapidly and I really didn't want to go to the classes anymore. But knowing me, I kept going, I stuck at it, and I eventually started to get better at dancing. And with that getting better came motivation of wanting to get better and better and better at it. So I stuck at it and I eventually actually won a dance competition. That to me illustrates an example that action actually brings motivation. This is something that Jeff Hayden talks about in his book, The Motivation Myth. He talks about this cycle of action, success, and motivation. And he says that by action, you are more likely to succeed. And that success brings motivation. And it is very true. So please remember that motivation is not enough to drive action. It is the action in itself that will bring motivation and in turn, repetitive action and consistency. Now that we have talked about the myth of motivation, let's talk about the other thing that stops us from being consistent and achieving our goals, and that is procrastination. Procrastination is something that I struggle with myself often as well. However, it is not something new. The Greek philosophers describe procrastination as the act against our better self by doing something even though we know we should be doing something else. So procrastination is not something new and elevates from the idea of the present bias. What I mean by that is we as humans tend to prefer instant gratification of watching a movie or eating that unhealthy food over the actions that will bring us long-term benefit. Let's take going to the gym for example. If we had the options of going to the gym or watching a movie, most of us would choose watching a movie because our present selves wants that gratification without thinking that our future selves would thank us for going to the gym and working towards that long-term benefits of exercising. So how do we stop procrastination? It is a good question, and for myself, I have set a few rules that helps me stop myself from procrastinating. The first of the rules that I have set for myself is the 2 minutes rule. So in this rule, I have taught myself that anything that takes me less than 2 minutes, I will do right away. Whether it's going to be washing the dish that I just ate on or taking the rubbish bin out. The second rule that I've set for myself is the 5 minutes rule. Some other people may call it 10 or 15 minutes rule. And it is as simple as this. Every time I catch myself in a state of procrastinations, I tell myself to do the task that I should be doing for only 5 minutes, to only knowing that once I start working on that task, it is very likely that I keep working on it as I know actions will bring more actions. It is really a way of me tricking my brain out of this state of procrastination. Take this video for example. I was procrastinating and I didn't want to do it, and I told myself that I only do it for 5 minutes, and here I am 2 hours later, it's still recording. So now that we have talked about the two biggest killers of consistency, let's talk about some other quick tips of how to be consistent with everything. Keep your eyes on the prize. And what I mean by that is to always think about your end goal. Having the end goal in mind all the time will help you to stay motivated and keep taking actions consistently. Take this YouTube channel for example. It is a lot of effort and work. However, my aim is to share my experiences with as many people as possible, and that goal in itself will keep me motivated to be consistent and stay on track. Set your environment to meet. Let's talk about this with an example. Let's say I want to read a book for 20 minutes per day in the evenings on the couch. However, every time I come downstairs, there's a TV remote waiting for me, and the first thing I do is to pick that TV remote and start watching TV. Let's look at it with a different angle. Every time I come downstairs on the couch, there's a book waiting for me, and I am more likely to pick that book up and start reading the book. So set your environment in such a way that helps you be consistent and keep taking actions towards your goal. Focus on one goal at a time. You do not want to overwhelm yourself by setting too many goals at the same time. Focus on that one goal, and once you have mastered consistency and taking consistent action towards achieving that goal, then you can start setting yourself some new goals and working towards achieving them also. Realize that you're never going to feel like it. Once you start something new in your life, trust me, you will hear this voice over and over in your head that you're not going to feel like it. Just realize that with anything in life, whether it's going to the gym or taking a walk or reading a book, you're never going to feel like it. And you just need to start learning how to ignore that voice in your head and keep taking actions anyway. So realize that you're never going to feel like it and ignore that voice in your head and keep taking actions towards your goal and be persistent. You want to schedule the actions you need to take in order to achieve your dream goals and ambitions in your day. What I mean by that, you want to identify those actions you need to take and you want to schedule it in your day. This is a major step to consistency, and in the late word of Stephen Covey, you don't want to prioritize your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. Take this channel for example. I have set a certain date for scripting and researching and another date for recording and editing my videos, so I don't ever miss out on the goal that I've set myself, and that is publishing one video per week. So schedule the actions you need and it will majorly help you to be consistent. Last and final tip is that it is okay to miss a day or two as long as you're able to get back on the horse and start taking action towards achieving your goal as soon as you can. This may be a good time to implement the 2-day rule. The 2-day rule says that you don't miss out on taking actions towards achieving your goal more than 2 days in a row. So implement that goal, think about that goal, and know that it is okay to miss out on taking actions once in a while as long as you're able to get back on the horse as soon as you can. That's it guys, those were my tips on how to stay consistent with everything in your life. And please remember, with consistency, hard work and belief, everything's achievable. This brings us to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found some value in it. Please subscribe to my channel, it will help me in a lot and it will keep me motivated to keep creating these videos on a weekly basis. And leave in a comment below how you found this video. Thank you so much for watching again, and until next time, live a life with no limits.